Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Madroit podcast. I, of course, am Jordan Haynes, alongside founder, CEO of Madroit, Winston Hofer. What's going on today, man?
A lot per usual. What about you, Jordan?
Never a dull moment in the marketing world. Always something for us to talk about, right?
Yes.
Which, is an outstanding segue, really, into our topic today. So I think one of the things that, we've heard over the course of our careers, I know I especially got it at different stages of my career, is, what do you even do in marketing? There's so many different avenues that you can take it, whether it be you're actually constructing ads or you're running social media accounts, or, you are mastering, of course, the almighty Google machine. The short answer is always, well, sometimes you're forced into doing everything because marketing touches everything. However, I think marketing runs through your entire company. And I think the reason it does is because it's the way that people talk about your company, it's how you make people feel about your company. And ultimately, it can be what makes people want to buy from your company or decide to work for it, even. So, today, friends, we're going to talk through why every company is a marketing company, regardless of what you make or sell. So that's kind of our main topic today. And if you can, just kind of hit us with, some of those main points of why every company is truly and really a marketing company.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like 4 to 5 things really make a company, right? So, your product and service, like how you execute that service or produce something, your place, your location, your location online is search engine, but your location, how you promote, how you advertise, that's part of the product, part of the service. Pricing, huge component of it, to say the least. And part of that is all encompassing in sales. Sales is king, right? It's all tied into your marketing, and all of that touches every single component from attracting clients and customers, patients to attracting team members.
Yeah, and I think it's funny to hear you say that, especially the last one, right? Because I think a lot of us know like the pricing and promotion and all that good stuff. Sales is king. So what affects the bottom line ultimately is what can determine a lot of what your marketing decision is. Now, I know some of the marketers in the room would definitely tell you, well, content's king. Content is what drives everything. That's what makes people want to do business with you. That's what they think is cool. Well, I guess I would challenge that and say, have you ever made a piece of content that actually doesn't result in any sales? It usually doesn't result in people thinking that it's all that cool anymore. So now, how you correlate those things from that piece of content to the sales is, I think, why every company truly is a marketing company, right? Because you have to kind of dial in what those key things are that are making people buy, making that final decision. Now, that's where we believe sales is king for sure. So I want to pose this question to you, Wings. It's kind of been on my mind as we kind of go through this. So your customers and team members, is that something that typically you would count on as being something that helps your company grow from a marketing standpoint?
Yeah, I think so. Attracting team members is only important if you're attracting customers, and attracting customers is only important if you're attracting team members, because without one or the other, you don't exist, right? People trying to grow so quick and they hire a bunch of people or they get a bunch of customers and they forget about the other piece. And thing with especially small businesses, but large businesses too, kind of implodes in on itself of, okay, let's say you've attracted 50% more customers this quarter. Great. Okay, but your team hasn't grown at all and they're starting to implode. Long story short, some people start to leave because they're so frustrated. They have so much to do, they can't handle it. They leave. Then the current team can't service the new customers or the current customers as well. So then they leave because they're frustrated. So it implodes in on itself, or it helps you grow exponentially, right? When both are aligned.
I think that's the perfect example because it makes me think personally of like HVAC or similar company to that, where okay, we're awesome. We do such a great job with service for our current customers that we have. We're killing it. They love us. Well, oh shoot, now we just took on more, or even like lawn care, for example, right? Like now we just took on more. How can we make that customer satisfaction stay at the rate that it was and keep them happy, but at the same time accommodate for the increase that we have from an overall customer standpoint? It's that fine balance. And that's ultimately your marketing working for you and sales working for you. But also, it's like on the back end of that, have to balance all of that at the same time, which is intense as always. So I think that's a great way. And then companies that kind of figure out how those operations work, I think they understand the value that marketing can bring to the table especially when it comes to attracting those key employees. Is that fair?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Like your service, let's say to go off your example of an HVAC company or lawn care, they do great work. People tell other people about the company. That's all great. You need that. They do the same thing for working with them, right? Even if they provide a great service, those things go together. So if they provide a great service, people are happy with them. They might tell someone, "Hey, I just saw they're looking for someone to join their team. You'd be a great fit," etc. And vice versa. People who work for a company that isn't great, they tell people about that. And not only that speaks to attract it, it can hurt you attracting more team members, right? But it also hurts you attracting more customers.
Yeah, that's hitting the nail right on the head. And it's funny because marketing too, if you think about where your ads are showing up and timing of those things. So somebody's talking about your service and that's great, but that's also the reason why you can't solely depend on word of mouth advertising, right? Somebody's talking about your product, talking about your service. Oh, great, I love it. Well, how many times do you walk away from that conversation that you're having with that friend? You're not placing that order right then and there. You're not booking that service right then and there. They're going to need a reminder a week down the line, 2 weeks down the line. But now, because you have your marketing and your advertising efforts in place, they're going to get that reminder and be like, oh man, you remember when Mark told me about how great that product or service was that he bought? Man, I need to take an action on that. Or I need to really buy that now. And ultimately, it's those the things working together that really kind of drive your company forward. So, all of that to say, having your tactics right, mixed with your company doing the right things, focusing on their customers, focusing on your service and your deliverable, that's the recipe for success right there. In the words of Matthew McConaughey, that's where the good stuff is. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like we covered a lot of good stuff there. If there's one last takeaway that you could give the folks listening today, what would it be?
Yeah. So your company is a marketing company, right? And I think the reason we say that, I think that, you think that, I believe, right? Your company has a product or service. It has to meet a certain level of quality, right? Let's say you might not be the Rolls Royce, but are you Mercedes? Are you I don't want to throw any maker under the bus, right? But like, are you a lower end car? That's all great, right? They all serve their purpose, but people have expectations around those services and what you provide, your quality of service, your product. And that all has to hit that minimum threshold. After that, it is about how you promote and attract new clients and customers, as well as how you attract new team members. So the product and service is very important, right? Without it, you don't have a company. But without the promotion and client acquisition, customer acquisition, you don't have a company either.
Ooh, I love that. That's the biggest thing. Scalable, hitting that threshold, making sure that you're delivering for your clients and ultimately delivering on what you say you're going to. So, guys, that's what we got for you today. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. And as always, if you want to get in touch with us, please visit madroitmarketing.com/podcast. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.